Following podcast has been rated M for mature, because we like to say fucking shit.
Welcome to T2G Podcast. This is episode 3. That's right. Keep on going. We keep doing this.
It's the trilogy.
Well, I'm Johnny B. We got CJ over here. And old Chris cannot join us today, but we got him on speakerphone from the retirement center.
Which should be awesome.
Say hello, old Chris. How is everything? How was the game of checkers today?
It's just fine, thanks.
All right. He's all peppy today. But today, in physical replacement, we have Codeman, our first guest for the show.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing? Thanks for coming out.
Feel pretty good today.
Feel good?
Yeah.
Of course you're feeling pretty good because you're on the podcast.
That's right.
Awesome.
Why wouldn't you feel good?
Time to game. All right. CJ, let everyone know what we're talking about today.
Obviously about games, John.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
What do we always talk about, John?
I thought we were going to talk about recipes. Like how to
what
make
recipes?
muffins.
Oh, okay.
Recipes for a decent game? We could do that.
There you go.
Maybe we'll do that on another episode.
That's another
Look
episode.
at that.
Booyah.
Just blowing my mind of awesomeness, just spewing out everywhere.
Feel the genius? Feel the genius?
Exactly. But no, as far as topics today, the first one we're going to talk about a little bit is most pre-ordered games currently. That's trending. GameRant.com did an article on this, just kind of portraying like what games are actually being the most pre-ordered, and it seems to be what people are obviously pre-orders have a lot to do with what people are looking forward to. They put the money down so they can get the game when it comes out. So there's some interesting trends going on, and some of the on the list, just a lot of things point out to me as just kind of weird. And I wanted to talk a little bit about what everybody's thoughts are about and what they see as far as the trend going. So obviously in this article, it has a listing of Call of Duty, Watch Dogs, Grand Theft Auto. The list goes all the way down. Obviously, Call of Duty is still on top. So what I want to do is I kind of just want to start off with that and just kind of start the discussion with why do we think that Call of Duty still continues to be number one, even though it's a yearly release. So Codeman, just to start you off, being the new guy here.
Good first question.
What makes you think that Call of Duty still can be on top every single year and sell the kind of copies that it does? Like, what is appealing to you?
The main reason is basically people are just more comfortable with that game. It's something that people can pick up easily, and they know it's going to be very similar to the other games, but with a little bit adaptation to it, just to make the gameplay feel better. For example, I saw a little bit of gameplay on it, and they have like better scopes. They have more. The graphics are obviously better now because
for next gen, it's going to be better anyway.
Yeah. So it's just something that people kind of know what they're getting, instead of just kind of buying out a random game and just hoping for the best.
This time you get a dog.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So you think it's more of people just being comfortable with knowing what they're going to buy?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like if you go to a grocery store and you get a Pop-Tart, you're going to go with the one that you're usually with, not with something random.
Exactly. Because you don't know. Those other flavored Pop-Tarts might be terrible.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Keep that Pop-Tart.
Hey Chris, down out there in southern United States, why do you think Call of Duty is still relevant? Why do you think it's still pre-ordering so well, and why do you think it's always the biggest release every year? Why haven't people gotten bored of this game?
Well, I think Codeman stepped on something there with the familiarity thing. But I mean, if you look at the top 10 games for the upcoming consoles, obviously, starting at 1 is Call of Duty, but right behind it is Watch Dogs. And more importantly, Watch Dogs is over Grand Theft Auto 5, which is even more surprising. But I believe Call of Duty has always been the bro game, And a lot of people just really know that game. It's the first-person shooter to go to, obviously, because it's basically right up there with the Halo genre, where everybody's like, it's either Call of Duty or Halo. And, unfortunately, I feel like Battlefield 4 is going to be a better game in the long run. But I just feel like people haven't warmed up to Battlefield as if they did to Call of Duty. So that's why it's number 1 right now, is because you got everybody that's going for a first-person shooter that they know it's Call of Duty.
Yeah, so it's definitely brand recognition. I think that we can kind of agree upon. What are your thoughts, John?
It's a combination of what everyone's saying, really. I mean, when I think of a game, I just want to jump in real quick. I don't have a lot of time for.
I was going to bring that up too, actually. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'll throw in Call of Duty, play a match or two, swear your ass off,
Go to work.
and then go to work.
Skip past the tutorial level.
Yes. I think Watch
No
Dogs
one
is
liked it.
second, though, because one, it was very hyped, and a lot of people are excited for it. But for Grand Theft Auto 5, it's something that not a lot of people had too much multiplayer experience with the fourth one, much on console games. It had it, but it wasn't something as big as Call of Duty, so I think a lot of people that loved the series is pre-ordering Grand Theft Auto 5, but you go back to Call of Duty with it's just multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it just shocks me every single year seeing that Call of Duty just is as big of a release as it is.
Well, like,
Because not much has changed, but again, this is like, it's the same reason people buy Madden every year, or they buy FIFA
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
It's that conscious idea of you're comfortable with what you're playing,
right.
so they know that the $60 or whatever they're going to spend on it, it's not going to go to waste because they don't know what they're getting.
Right. I never
Yeah.
picked up Modern Warfare 3.
I did.
I
I
did.
played it. I like the multiplayer better than I like the campaign.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you look at the advertising for it, and they're saying, "Oh, you get a dog. Oh, this single player campaign is
With
going to be
ghosts,
this and
yeah.
this." But does anyone really play the single player that much? I mean, for me, my thing was always play the single player, then jump in multiplayer.
Well, that's what I always do. That's just my trend. If
Oh.
if I'm buying a game, I'm playing campaign first, and I'll jump into multiplayer. Most people don't even play the campaign for Call
I know.
of Duty.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, and it's just the way that it is. Unfortunately, I feel bad for the people that actually waste money or waste time making a campaign for people not just to jump in and go play
Right.
the multiplayer.
Because I Modern Warfare 2, that campaign I liked a lot.
Yeah.
I
That's
thought it was
one
very
background, right?
exciting.
Well, the thing with Modern Warfare 3 was Modern Warfare 3 when the issue that they had when that game came out is that that's when everything with Infinity Ward and Activision was going down, so a chunk of Infinity Ward actually broke off, and remnants of that became Respawn Entertainment, the guys that are doing Titanfall now.
Right.
That's why they brought in with Modern Warfare 3. They brought in Sledgehammer to try and finish the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more team members trying to finish and make that game, and that's why some people are like they had mixed feelings about the game overall. Because I stand by my thoughts of nothing will ever beat Call of Duty 4 as far as multiplayer goes and story goes and stuff like
the
that.
jump from 3 to 4. I mean, 3 was excellent because you could actually have
World War
split
II
screen
and-
co-op or
Yeah.
split screen multiplayer on a same system. Bring your buddy over,
Yeah,
kick the
four
shit
players.
out of like a whole bunch of people, and then have a great time with it. The story in it wasn't that fantastic at all. You had Call of Duty 2 that came out with the Xbox 360, and that did really well. when
yeah,
it
Call of
first
Duty
came
2.
out.
Yeah,
it was
that was a good game.
it was one of the first good shooters for the Xbox.
My
360.
favorite, my favorite game, part of that is just it's still like sits in the back of my head is taking Normandy Beach,
Right.
With
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, but
2.
then 3 came out, and I know the campaign wasn't as strong, but the multiplayer I liked. And then, but when 4 came out, Modern Warfare was just like BAM!
Yeah, I mean that's what did it. That's what sparked it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what sparked these yearly releases.
Yeah.
That's when they really
Then
started.
then it split though. Then you had World at War.
I liked World at War. I didn't have any problem with it. I played the multiplayer a lot. I played that was the first time they had zombies they added into it.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was the biggest part, really.
That was,
Yeah.
and
For
that's
some
what
people,
took off.
that was the biggest part.
Yeah.
And some people only play zombies too for
Yeah.
like Black Ops now, Black Ops 2, anything that Treyarch does. That's what they play now. Some of them don't even play multiplayer anymore. They don't play campaign. Now they just play zombies the entire time
A lot of people actually, some like the big zombie fans, they would buy that game, just play the heck out of it.
and just play zombies.
Yeah, just play zombies.
But Chris, I just wanted to bring you back into the conversation a little bit. Big shocking thing to me is that Watch Dogs is actually out pre-ordering Grand Theft Auto. I want to say the reason for that is because Watch Dogs has been known about and been on the market and been able to do pre-orders on for a longer time than Grand Theft Auto. Do you think I'm accurate in that, or do you think people are just really, really excited to see what Watch Dogs has to offer? I mean, they're both sandbox games, but does that shock you, or does that surprise you at all that Watch Dogs is actually outselling or out pre-ordering Grand Theft Auto?
Not really. I mean, you're looking at Watch Dogs as a new take on that kind of game style. Grand Theft Auto has been around for, this is the 5th generation of Grand Theft Auto. They keep coming back with better games, more things to do. I mean, there's a freaking stock market in the Grand Theft Auto game.
Can't wait to play that.
That's what infuriates me. Why do I need a stock market?
You gonna learn how to trade.
That's just creating a whole new world there.
We're gonna have a new E-Trader commercial.
That sounds like too much for me.
Yeah.
Maybe the E-Trader baby's in it.
Maybe.
Maybe you can play as them.
Keep going, Chris. What were you saying?
Well, the Grand Theft Auto series, I mean, it's I wouldn't say it's going stale, but the consumer wants something new. You're also looking at Watch Dogs having an amazing PR behind it. So obviously, it's been hit hard. It's it's in your face. People are like, "What is this Watch Dogs about?" And when it came out for EA, people were really getting excited. I believe, where I really believe though is when you look at the E3 showing of this thing when they announced it, people were just looking at it going, "Holy crap, that's incredible!"
Yeah.
What am I looking at? An espionage game? So I mean, I think it's going to be a sandbox espionage game that people are going to be like, "Man, that is something that I really want to get into." And because it's different, I think that's why it's doing better than Grand Theft Auto. But it's not doing better by that much. I mean, if you look at the numbers, out of every game that's coming out, like Grand Theft Auto has like 58.4% of most of the pre-orders right now, and the Watch Dogs at 69.6%, where Call of Duty Ghosts had like 73%. I mean, these are still high percentages. The company should be very pleased with this, and I believe as the games are already out and more people get the new consoles and everything else, these games are going to be bought. Everyone's going to have to.
Yeah.
We gotta look at it too. Watch Dogs is gonna be on next gen as well.
And this gen.
And
That's
this
true.
gen. Grand Theft Auto is gonna be mainly just this
It's
gen.
just gonna be this gen. I don't foresee them.
Yeah.
I don't foresee them breaking down the code of the entire game and rebuilding it for next generation.
Right.
Because that's what they would have to do.
Well, Watch Dogs
Well, I think
is
that-
even gonna
that
come
hurts
to
them,
the
Yeah.
Watch Dogs is supposed to come to the Wii U as well. So it's got one of the first few new next gen games that are coming out. And with Grand Theft Auto, like you said, you picked on all the points basically. It's been around for a while. People
Yeah, it's been
know
around for a
about
while.
it.
People know what
are
it is.
really interested about this Watch Dogs, and it must have blew a lot of people away watching the videos.
I mean, it did. Like, I was excited for it a year ago.
Yeah.
Now I've seen a lot of it. They've done a lot of gameplay demos. They've shown a lot of different things. I'm like, I'm not gonna pre-order. I'm gonna wait for it to come out. I want to see what the reviews are gonna be, because I feel like it's been oversaturated already as far as people seeing it, people knowing about it. I feel like
the curtain's been
yeah,
pulled up a little
the
bit.
excitement's kind of been pulled up for me already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Grand Theft Auto, the thing with Grand Theft Auto is people know what Grand Theft Auto is. You're getting what Grand Theft Auto is.
Yeah.
I mean, the gameplay's going to be better. They're going to have a better story. You're going to be able to change between 3 different people, have multiplayer and everything else like that.
I'm
The
excited
multiplayer
about
does
it.
most of the part for that, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people like doing the whole. If you ever played the one before this one,
4.
yeah, 4.
Numerical order.
4 comes before 5?
Anyway,
No way.
That's impossible.
That's crazy.
You mean I have my Rocky collection all mixed up?
Dude.
I thought he started
No,
as an
no,
old man.
no.
I thought he was Benjamin Button.
Wait.
Benjamin
If you're
Button,
talking about
okay,
Rocky,
right.
you should just get rid of 5 and pretend that it's not there.
Oh,
But-
boy.
yeah. Anyway, playing the 4th one and getting that chance to actually roam the whole world and just do races, fight your friends in like this giant map that you got to play.
Yeah.
Like that just kind of blew it up for them. Like a lot of people heard about what you could do in the multiplayer, and that's mainly the reason why some people got the game.
Yeah, see, I'm not a huge Grand Theft Auto guy. I've played all of them a little bit.
Yeah.
But I've never really gotten like knee deep into the game.
4 was the first one I could actually beat the story because
I
it was
never beat
actually
the story of
it was more serious the game instead of you had Vice City with like crazy stuff going on and
Yeah.
I got lost track. I'd go grab a boat and sink some people.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, if I'm looking at a sandbox
pirate.
game, the only sandbox game I'm really looking forward to right now that I won't get when it comes out is going to be Infamous Second Son, hands down. I'm getting that game. I'm playing the crap out of that game.
Hands down.
Hands down.
I'm actually interested in that now.
Hands down. Just
Yeah.
playing the crap out of it. Just gonna go there, lock myself in a room. Actually, probably can't lock myself in a room because my wife will yell at me. But
It'll be a very noisy
it'd be a very noisy playthrough.
playthrough.
But I'm definitely excited for Infamous and whatnot. But I don't know. Like I said, Watch Dogs. I feel like it kind of is like at this point it's out. Everybody's kind of excited about it. I just kind of moved on. But I mean, like again, it's being pre-ordered, and for them to be out pre-ordering something like Grand Theft Auto with Watch Dogs being a new IP is huge. I mean, that's a good thing for Ubisoft. I mean, that's one thing I could say for them is that they have this new IP out as far as the pre-orders are going. For them, if they screw this up though with Watch Dogs, if they like screw the pooch with Watch Dogs, they're gonna have a lot of fan unpopularity.
This feels like one of those games though that, because of the hype, you're gonna get the early reviews like it's fantastic, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then you get the people that play it, they're like, meh.
Maybe not.
I spent the whole game on the phone. Meh.
I feel like it might be the possible game of like you play through the whole thing. It's awesome when you play through once, but you just might not want to play through it again.
Yeah.
Because there are a few games out there which you play through, they're amazing, but then I don't feel like visiting the whole thing again.
All right. Well, we have other titles to talk about, but let's final kind of say on this. Chris, would you choose Watch Dogs or Grand Theft Auto if you had to only pick one?
I'd probably go with Watch Dogs because I've been there and done that with Grand Theft Auto, and Watch Dogs is something new. It's next gen. It's a new concept, and it's a new take on an espionage kind of game that I would probably get into.
Yeah. What about you, John?
Well, here's my take on the thing too. If I get Watch Dogs, definitely next gen. You definitely want to test the new systems out, see what's going to be awesome about it. Because like I said, we saw the videos, it looks fantastic. I don't know what it's going to play like. But for me, since Grand Theft Auto comes out first, I'm going to say Grand Theft Auto.
Okay. What are you, Codeman?
I think I'm going to go with the same reason that Chris picked. Like you said, like you have visited it before. It's going to be different, but not too different. Yeah. And to try out a brand new game just seems more exciting.
Yeah, I guess
than
I
visiting
agree with that.
The same thing.
Yeah, I guess I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, Watch Dogs is going to be something new. It's going to have different features and stuff like that we haven't seen before. So if I had to pick, I'd probably be getting Watch Dogs over Grand Theft Auto. But I'm not too excited about either one yet. And I know people are going to be like, no, Grand Theft Auto is going to be amazing. And you're like, what are you talking about? You're not excited for Watch Dogs. But for me, it's just like, there's a few games. There's a few games that I really get excited for, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait for these games to come out. But I want to see more from each. I want to see gameplay. I want to see what some of the reviews are saying about it before I actually like jump into either one of those games. All right, so moving on. The other thing, the subtopic under this topic, if you will.
There's layers.
Yes, there's layers. There's many layers. But the one thing I wanted to kind of point out here too was that Killzone Shadowfall is actually beating out all other pre-orders of any of the Xbox exclusives, which is kind of exciting. I think that's very interesting. I mean, I play Killzone a lot. I talked about it on other podcasts. I really enjoy Killzone. I like the multiplayer aspect of it. I like the way that the game plays, like the game mechanics, the gun mechanics. Like I said, I don't know what it's going to be like when it comes out, if a lot of that's going to be changed, because it looks like they're going for a different feel with Killzone Shadowfall. But, it's beating out Dead Rising 3 for the Xbox One. It's beating out the Forza. It's beating out Rise, Son of Rome. So the question I kind of wanted to pose is, do you think that with Killzone Shadowfall out pre-ordering the other exclusives, do you think that's a direct representation of where the game community and where people are kind of trending to? Or do you think it's just more of, people that are buying the Xbox One, they're going to get Call of Duty and Watch Dogs, and they're not really too worried about the exclusives? I mean, for me, looking at that, though, looking at Killzone, I'm like, all right, well then, maybe, Killzone's, the pre-orders are a lot higher than the Xbox One exclusives because there's more PS4s that are being pre-ordered or, whatever the case may be. But just to kind of throw that out there, like, for me, I'm looking at it as, all right, Killzone Shadowfall is out pre-ordering the other 3 exclusives for Xbox One. What does that mean? To me, I'm thinking, like, all right, then PS4 must be dominating in pre-orders, but not necessarily because you have all these other third-party games. So, John, what are your thoughts about that?
Pretty much what you're saying, because you look at it, if Killzone is dominating, it's just, I don't know, either there's more PS4s going on, or people are doing the Call of Duty thing, or the Watchdog thing, basically.
Or Battlefield, or whatever it's going to be.
Battlefield, yeah, there's always Battlefield.
Chris, do you think the Shadowfall out pre-ordering the other Xbox exclusives? Do you think that is saying something about where the community is, or do you think that the Xbox One buyers are actually going to be pre-ordering more Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Watch Dogs with third-party games over the exclusives that are coming with it?
Well, I mean, Xbox fans are gonna definitely go with the usual suspects, but I mean, multi-console games, you'll always have a better idea of where people are with consoles. We talked about this before. In my opinion, obviously PS4 is going to win out in the beginning over Xbox on the price alone. But when games come to like Shadowfall, the Killzone line and the whole game, I mean, it's a good game. I believe that you're looking at gamers that just want this game because it's going to be an awesome game. I mean, maybe more first-person shooter fans are going to lean towards Shadowfall because Killzone is a good genre also. But the Call of Duty market's pretty strong, and I don't really have a strong opinion about Halo right now. So it's, if people go with Killzone Shadowfall, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the bundles.
It could be because of the bundles too. That might actually be a good point. I mean, they're bundling the Call of Duties and the Battlefields as well.
The interesting would be which system holds the highest reserves for the Call of Duties, the Battlefields.
Because, I mean, obviously people aren't just going out and pre-ordering Killzone Shadowfall for PS4 just by, it's a shooter, I'm sure it's going to be
Or they're going to get it, try to put it in their Xbox. Fuck, why don't this shit work?
Yeah, like, I just, I think that it has to say something. I just don't know. It could be very, very much that, though, too. It could very well be, people are pre-ordering these bundles that come with Shadowfall. But like I said, I'm pretty sure the bundles out there still come with Ghost and Battlefield. And
yeah, there's a Battlefield. I was looking at that one.
But I mean, like I said, the closest one to pre-ordering, as high of pre-orders as Killzone is, that's an Xbox One exclusive, is Forza 5, which is a racing game. Woo-hoo! Obviously. We talked about this last time.
We did.
The world does not need more racing games.
No.
We're done.
We do not. If you want to race, go outside, take some real car.
Go down the shore, go on the go-karts, have a better time. And then it's Forza, then it's followed by Dead Rising, and then right underneath Dead Rising is Rise.
Dead Rising, Rise.
And like I said, as far as reserves go, Forza's like a little bit more than half of the quantity that Killzone's being pre-ordered at. So, Code Man, what do you think of this? I mean, do you think that is this saying something about how the community is moving away from Xbox or pushing more for PS4? What do you think about that?
I definitely think so. I definitely think that PS4 is, like, even in the beginning, like, people heard about the Xbox One and hated how it was going to come out. And a lot of people aren't going to switch now from Xbox One to PS4. They're just going to basically stick at PS4. And to have a good game to go into it with that, with Killzone, I think it just shows more in the game when they buy the game, though. Yeah,
well, that's the thing, too. I mean, a lot of it, I believe, is this country has become a first-person shooter-dominated gaming society. Yeah. We don't like it unless we can shoot it.
Video games, the only legal way to kill stupid people.
Yeah. So with that, I mean, that's the only launch first-person shooter exclusive that's going to be coming to either system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that says something about it. All right. So moving right along for the hot topics this week, we are going to go now to the Xbox community changes or adaptations or new stuff that Xbox One will be doing with its online capabilities and, making it nicer for everybody to play and stop having people play with, what is that Chris called them? 12-year-old bastards last podcast?
12-year-old
racist bastards.
Racist bastards.
12-year-old racist bastards on Xbox One. So Chris, you were talking a little bit before. Can you just explain to everybody kind of how this new Xbox community is supposed to work? And they're trying to utilize this algorithm. They're going to be empowering certain players to pretty much mediate other players, which is kind of weird. Can you highlight some main points of that?
Well, I called it the Xbox Popularity Contest. Xbox Live members who join the enforcement unit I'm going to put quotations around enforcement unit. I don't even know who these people are.
I feel like it should come with a
We'll be
badge.
able to provide
An achievement
opinions
badge.
on whether particular content violates the Xbox Live Code of Conduct, and kicking off with, gamer tags and stuff like that. These opinions will be fed into an algorithm that will, determine a further course of action. That algorithm takes several factors into account, like many participants believe there had been a violation and how reliable those individual members' historical decisions aligned with the general consensus. So it's like you're looking at, somebody who's playing a game and they play with this person for 20 minutes, and during that 20-minute period, that person was a real jerk, like somebody who is absolutely off the wall ridiculous. That person can vote against that player as a code of conduct misdemeanor, if you will, or a vote of bad code of conduct, whatever that may be when that comes. This is supposed to be better than, let's say, somebody giving somebody like a frowny face or whatever it was. I don't know if you guys remember what they used to do with Xbox, like you had preferred players and unpreferred players. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they had like star rankings or something like that, right? Am I making that up?
Yeah, no, they.
Yeah, it was like,
You could complain on certain things, and then depending on what you complain on, we'll go to that account whoever you're complaining on and
Yeah.
do a percentage of how bad they are.
And it was like, yeah. So
Was that an
you
actual
prefer to play
Xbox
with-
thing, or was that a Halo thing?
No, it was an Xbox thing.
Yeah.
Was it?
I remember that, yeah.
Mine was pretty bad.
Mine was-
Because you piss people
Oh,
off.
yeah, the stars. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. I call it.
Like you get like language, just everything.
Language. If you're going to lag switch, hate freaking lag switches.
Yeah.
Piss me off. All right, so Chris, the one thing I'm curious about, and like I said, I briefly read through this. You had a little bit more time with it. Is there like an age restriction on these enforcers? Like, are they going to be like, you have to be at least 18, 19 to do this? Or are we going to literally be looking at like 16, 15-year-olds?
Are the racist
Pretty much.
12-year-olds going to be in control of us?
Yeah.
Either way, they're lying. They're buying the game. They're not that old. So.
It sounds like what I've read already, and I'll let the community weigh in too. The enforcement unit, these guys, I believe, I'm not even sure if these guys are, these are my questions to the community, if you will, are like, who are these ambassadors? Are they employees of Microsoft? What powers do they have over other gamers? And why do we need them? I could go on a rant for a while with this, but I just wanted to say that we're not really sure who these people are right now. It just adds to the discussion that we had last week when we understood that there was a problem with the Xbox community. And I still by saying certain games that attract these people, like Halo community and whatnot. But this is an outright concession by Microsoft, and that there's a problem with that needs to be addressed. So this is Microsoft saying, we have a problem, we need to get this figured out, and we're going to put the power to the players, but we're also going to have ambassadors to kind of watch over things, which, I disagree with. I think this is going to end badly for the industry and for Xbox Live. You can't have popularity contest crap when it comes to games. When it comes to people who are just not caring what you did, they just care that if they lost, if you're a better player and consistently win for your team, who's to say that some sore loser from the other team will be angry enough to, use your, give you a ration of shit on the Xbox Live mic and then put you down for another bad player mark or whatever, and the algorithm is just gonna go with the way of they say. It's not a popularity contest, in my opinion, so I feel like it could backfire if they don't get this algorithm shit right,
Yeah.
If the votes aren't fair with public elections, with voting the President of the United States, for example, what makes you think that the votes will be fair on Xbox Live? I don't know. It seems like a joke. The only one who's going to be laughing at the end of this thing is probably the PlayStation Network and Sony.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is now is like you're playing a multiplayer match against, say, 4 people, and they're all four of them are like these ambassadors or whatever, and they lose miserably, and they think that, oh yeah, you were live switching or you were cheating or something like that, and now you're suspended.
You just see
from Xbox Live
playing in cloaks, just
that's
almighty, like you
that's
are
what I'm saying.
banned from this game.
I want to know how they're going to mediate that. Like, who are they going to get? Like, do you have to like go through an application process to be one of these people that can report to Microsoft when people are, doing shitty stuff or not
Wasn't
acting
there something
properly?
too? They're going to award these people that sign up for this thing?
Well, yeah, I saw something about it. Chris, did you see anything in the article about how they're going to be rewarding the people that are part of this community?
Yeah, I mean, you get, like, little perks and power-ups or whatever. I mean, they're all superficial bullshit. It's just like these little, we'll call it prestige, for lack of a better term. It really doesn't do anything. It just kind of puts, like, the little highlight around your name or next to your gamer tag or whatever. The shitty thing is, too, like, if you were marked down enough times for misconduct, you actually have to change it to gamer tag.
Yeah, which is what...
The one gamer tag that you had forever, you need to change it now. So if you can't get into a game based on your credit, and you're forced to play a game with, like, real assholes running things, you're going to be pissed.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're doing now anyway. I mean, I know people have they've had to change their name because of so many complaints that Microsoft makes them change their name for them. But to answer the question that we asked, they are getting something. You're saying, like, superficial bullshit that would go next to their gamer tag or something like that, but there is some sort of a benefit to them.
Merit badge,
yeah,
community watch.
It's somewhat, yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's like the community watch. Exactly. You're not technically empowered, but
I think Xbox itself is going to become a game, like an RPG.
People you gotta level your
like, yeah, clear that whole neighborhood down the street. We're good.
I got these many people suspended this week. What do I get? Oh, 1,000 achievement points? That's great.
Booyah.
Special achievement? Okay, definitely, man.
And then you're going to have to pay for another gamer tag. And
I just think the whole thing...
Well, no, usually if they make you change your gamer tag, they won't make you pay. Because I know people that are on Xbox Live that will literally, like, email all their friends list and say, can you downrate me or make a complaint against me so I can change my gamer tag and not spend the $10 in order to change the gamer tag.
Clever.
So that is what's going on now. But the thing is, based on the way they're going to be doing matchmaking and stuff like that, you could get put in with all the freaking assholes.
Yeah.
In, like, one party, like, just play against all these, like, terrible people. If, like, these ambassadors or whatever it's going to be, enforcement people that are going to just, like, downgrade you. And then what? Then what are you going to do? You're going to have to go and change your game, get a whole new Xbox Live account, lose all your achievement points and stuff
Where's
like
your
that.
gamer tag going to be? Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, so then potentially you have to get another account just to start from scratch. That's going to piss a lot of people off, I think. I mean, that would piss me off. If I played against somebody and I totally just destroyed them in, like, a multiplayer match, and now they're all, like, making complaints against me because they think I'm cheating or something like that, and Microsoft goes and says, all right, yeah, these guys must be legit because, they've told us about 3 other guys that were cheating. I'm just going to they're going to downgrade them and suspend you from Xbox Live and all this other stuff. I'm like,
yeah,
that would piss me off, especially because you're paying to be on Xbox Live.
Pretty much.
That's what would really irritate me. What were your thoughts, Code Man? I mean, you've been on Xbox Live for a while.
Yeah, I was an Xbox fanboy for a while too.
Yes, and you've been on it for a while.
And all the racists.
Yeah, I kind of dealt with all that type of people.
Yeah.
If you simply just destroy someone in, like, one match, and, like, when you go into a lobby where you can talk to everybody, they're gonna report you.
That's the thing. Like, how many times
you don't even know?
How many times are people stupid enough? Like,
I hate the kids too. I agree with Chris and what he says about the racist 10-year-old bastards.
It just sounds like they're trying to control what's said over a line, like, to get rid of all that bad talk. But what's happening here is they're doing it based off of gameplay because most people are going to be in party chat or something.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like,
so then all of a sudden you're playing in party chat and then you happen to kill your whole team wins a bunch of times. The next thing you know, you're getting bad reviews on you.
Because
you're winning.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not like you said anything. It's just now.
Yeah, I mean, you piss off the wrong people. That's what I'm saying. So how are they going to mediate? How are they going to decide who these enforcement?
This just
Xbox
gives the
Live
sore
guys
loser's voice.
To quote Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility.
That was Uncle Ben, actually.
Whatever.
That was Uncle Ben.
It's from Spider-Man,
I
John.
just threw a comic book knowledge fact
Factoid.
in there.
Whatever. It's from Spider-Man. Somebody said it in Spider-Man, probably multiple times.
Yes.
Anyway, but like you're giving like that kind of ability to people that could really screw people over. I'll be pissed if that was going to happen to me.
See, I was happy with the smartwatch they were coming out with, Xbox. Where
Well, that's still
the
part of it,
algorithms. Well, they mentioned this before. They mentioned the neighborhood watch, which is ridiculous.
Well, it's not the neighborhood watch.
It's gonna be.
It's the Xbox.
Old Chris will
New
be out there in
community-
his rocking chair.
Yes, the new community moderation program is what it's technically called.
But
Yeah. It's still part. The smartwatch thing is an algorithm that's gonna that's what
It's
we were talking
matchmaking.
about. Yeah, it's a matchmaking.
you get
algorithm.
it'll put you in supposedly with your equal, but we'll see how good that is.
It just sounds like too much power to the players.
Yeah, I mean it's like
It's something that shouldn't.
I feel like somebody's gonna get screwed over. Somebody's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great to have someone like review the guys and actually say it's bad, but you give their power to the wrong person, it hurts them more than anything.
That's what I'm saying. I want to know
Yeah.
how they're gonna mediate this. Like, how are they gonna decide? These people. Chris, what do you think is the best way if they're gonna stick with this? What do you think is the best way for them to kind of mediate who these enforcement people are gonna be on the Xbox community?
I don't even think they should have mediators. Honestly, somebody could put a preferred player on their friends and a not preferred player on the people that they don't want to play with, and then let the player decide who they want to play with. Don't let these mediators allow you to go into these certain games. Like I said before, and like you guys elaborated on, if for some reason I was given a bad report, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. And then I end up in a game with people who are really bad, like really deserve to be in their own area, like the timeout corner. I'm gonna be freaking pissed because I'm not gonna enjoy my experience. That I'm paying for the service, I paid for the game. I'm basically sitting there waiting to play a game with my friends, and finally, unless they disable friend requests, that would tick me off.
Yeah, I mean, I think you touched on something kind of interesting there, too. I mean, why don't they just streamline the whole preferred and not preferred player from your own profile? You know what I mean? Make it a quick button. You toggle down to their name and just press a button to prefer them or not to prefer them. That will weed it out based on their own preferences instead of having these mediators. I think that would be the ideal way of doing it.
Or you could just hit the mute button.
Just go to party chat, calm your shit, keep playing.
What's that, Chris?
That's real power to the players, man. That's real power to the players.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they're going to do this mediation stuff, I think it should be controlled by the person that actually owns the membership. They're playing online. If they don't want to play with somebody, you can choose not to play with them. If they hate getting beat 3 or 4 times in a row, then just avoid them altogether and try and play against somebody else because obviously they're better than you.
Yes, and that algorithm bullshit should fix all that anyway.
But no, the
That's what we're
algorithm
talking about.
bullshit's not going to fix it. Because they're evidently... Alright, so they have the smart match algorithm, and now
Yeah,
they
that's
have
what
this
I'm talking about,
community...
the smart
Now they have the community
Which is dumb.
algorithm. I don't know if it's the same algorithm. There's a lot of algorithms going on
If they're
here,
not
man.
using Jarvis, it ain't gonna work.
I don't even know if I know exactly what an
Start knows
algorithm
the
is, but it sounds complicated. And now I'm going to do it twice. So I'm kind of confused about how the algorithms are actually going to work.
There's too much knowledge.
You can't really code an algorithm for a social interaction between people. You know what I mean? You can't code it. You can't
Microsoft
program
is up to something. They got to connect to, always watching you.
It just sounds like a bad idea from the beginning.
That's what I'm saying. I think I'm going on record here saying that what they should do is have a simpler, streamlined way to prefer and unprefer players. Done. That's it. If you don't want to play with them, you don't play with them. If if for some reason you like playing with them, prefer them.
They
Done.
want them to be the parents that the actual parents aren't being.
Microsoft wants them to feel like they belong to a community. That's exactly what it is. They want that you're part of. You're part of.
Windows and hang out with your friends.
No,
Real
see,
people.
John, we talked about this last week. You don't do that no more. You go to your house and you play Xbox. I go to my house and I play Xbox, and that's how we socialize.
That's how we play.
Yeah, it's how it happens.
And now the boys are gonna boot us from Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. see, it's just exactly. It's just a snowball effect.
It's the playground all
It's
over
going
again.
down. Yeah, it's the playground all over again, just over internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris, was there anything else in the article that you thought was kind of interesting as far as that goes?
For the most part, that's all they could really cover. They didn't really give too much detail into how the algorithm is going to work, and they really didn't go into too much detail on who the ambassadors are going to be. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see what Microsoft comes out with to go and embellish a little bit more about it. But right now it's all speculation, and based on what they told us so far, I'm not too pleased.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, too, I'm just looking at the article here from a site, and it's saying that if you're already an Xbox Live ambassador, evidently you can actually register now to be involved in the enforcement beta. And Xbox plans to have the program available to broader Xbox Live community when it officially launches. I want to know what the registration looks like. I mean, that's the thing. I feel like them doing this, how are they going to weed out people that shouldn't be so-called enforcers?
It really just sounds like a full-time job.
I want to know what the qualifications are.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Who are you to tell me who I'm allowed to be with, or who are you to say what's fair and isn't fair?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe people like getting shot in the head multiple times by somebody that's better than you.
It's therapeutic.
Some people
Maybe
just...
you like frustrating hours of screaming at a TV screen.
Exactly. Maybe it's a stress
Gets all the
release.
frustrations out.
But I'm gonna look a little bit more into it. Yeah, now they're making me sign into my. I'm trying to go through the certificate or the registration, but they're making me sign into my account and stuff like that. I'll have to look at it another
Please
time.
give us your social.
Yeah, like I'm afraid
date
to
of
give
birth,
Microsoft anything.
Your school
I'm
schedule
afraid.
and a list of fears.
Yeah. All right, so moving on from the Xbox community changes, which again I think it should just be streamlined, preferred, not preferred ability on your Xbox Live account.
Done and done.
No enforcement.
No RoboCop.
No Microsoft cop telling you that you can't do that or you're not playing the right way.
Soon your controller's going to shut off and...
You're going to have referees. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, well that's all the time we have now, but we're splitting this podcast into 2 parts. So you just listen to part 1 and stay tuned for part 2. This was Time to Game Podcast Episode 3, Part 1. Stay tuned for Part 2. We'll catch you next time.